Let's see if we have microphone. Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to the second episode of International Guitar Month. So if you can hear me, please put it in the chat. I'm sure you can. Seems like everything's working. Mark Fazio. Man, one of my former students. Yes, Mark. I am at home on the Parker Fly, that's for sure. I've been using this guitar, this particular guitar, my goodness, for I don't even know how many years. Since 1995, I think. So it is so me. And listen to that acoustic, it's so cool. I miss that with my other guitars. I miss the piezo. Nice big intervallic chords today. And with a quick step of a button, I could go from the piezo, which is built into this guitar. I'm actually using a stereo cable here that came with the guitar. And then from there it splits into two different rigs on my Axe-Fx 3. Maybe I could show you that. Let's see, is it set up to do this? I don't know. Let's try it. So here's the Axe-Fx 3. You're hearing all the sounds are Axe-Fx 3. And that is our, hey, Twitch universe. We have Twitch. So tonight we're streaming to a few different places. We have Facebook, both my personal and my music page. And we have Twitch, which I'm really trying to get people over to there. So if you have an account, please go over and say hi there. And if you don't have an account, it's free. And since they're really big on streaming, the audio and the video is a lot clearer over there than it is on Facebook. And YouTube is the other channel, which obviously is all about video, so their video and audio is outstanding as well. Hey, Mike. Let's see, we'll bring up some of these comments. Let's see. Add to broadcast. There we go. Francis. Hello, Francis. Hope you're doing great. And then we have my wife over on Twitch. And then we have one of my students and former students who is now a very good bass player and going to music college for you just told me the other day. He's majoring in, I believe, recording. That's incorrect, Mike. Go ahead and put up what you're majoring in. Mike is awesome. And then we have Ed B. Metal. We also have my wonderful wife over on Facebook. And then we have Ed B. Metal. I can hear you. Awesome. I can see you. And then we had Mark Fazio, one of my former students from 1.5 million years ago. And yeah, man. Again, this is such a beautiful guitar. And this was my first Parker. I got this in 1995. and I believe it was at a place called Long and McQuaid in Parsippany, New Jersey. They're long gone now. Long gone, get it? Long and McQuaid, long gone. I believe it was a Canadian company that was trying to get it going on over here, and it didn't quite work out, and they got bought out by the Music Den eventually, which is still there, and they're awesome. Yeah, so Music Den, and I have some friends over there. Let's see who else is here. Roberto, hola. My Spanish is horrible, but from what I'm gathering is you're asking if I'm using the Quad Cortex or Headrush, and I'm using neither. I'm using the Axe-Fx 3 by Fractal. And man, I love the Fractal stuff. I used to use Line 6 and Digitech and Boss. It must be at least 13 years ago now or longer. I switched over to the Axe-Fx, and I have not looked back. It is absolutely incredible. So I think I'm able to show you my Axe-Fx rig right now. I have two different rigs going, so you can hear this awesome piezo unaffected by amplifiers and preamps, and direct with some effects on it. And then we have, with just a switch, I can switch right directly to a killer electric tone. Alright, so there's the electric guitar with the same effect. And then switch over to the piezo. And then I could sneakily change and go right to a blazing lead. Right back to acoustic. Before 1995, there was no guitar on the planet that could do this. And I flipped out when I heard this. I was like, I have to have this guitar. Yeah, so basically, I picked this up in 1995, and I used it exclusively, the only guitar that I used for ever up until 2 years ago when I got bit by the Strandberg and the Pia Bug, which are two totally opposite guitars within each other and totally different from the Parker Fly. But I figured today I'd go live with my Parker because it is my first real lovely guitar that I just really have a great comfortable relationship with. Let's see how this is. So it's cool because within the Axe-Fx you could do stuff to, you know, an acoustic that you can't really do in the real world on the fly. Ba-dum-bump. And I don't mean on the guitar. I mean instantly. So I can go from that to like this. With the shimmer style effect in the background. Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff. Let's see, can I view everybody that's hanging on Twitch? I can, look at that. So we're gonna do two. Oh, it's asking me to do something. Hold on, people. What's it saying here? Shield mode. No, we're not going to do this now. I thought it was maybe a bot to keep out the old spammers, but we will do this later. Goodbye. All right. So, yeah, Parker Fly is going to be the topic of today, I think, and maybe my very first electric guitar. Yesterday I showed everybody my very first acoustic guitar, and I think today we might break out the very first electric guitar. I think I got it in 1978 or 76. Can't remember when, but it's old, And like the other guitar, it looks brand new. Because I have issues. I keep everything in such good shape. Yeah, so, you know, you can go from this kind of a sound on with the acoustic guitar right off to a rhythm, you know, guitar. Let's see, we have some other comments. Hey, let's see. Mike, I was going to. Vince needed a rain check. Yes. Yeah, I had some stuff that I was doing earlier, and I got caught up, and I figured I'd have you over, but we'll have to do a little rain check thing. Yeah. And then we'll get into soldering. Hey, look at who's here. John. Hello, John. Sunday Rock Church. Yeah, man. I like that. Rock and Roll Church. You know, there was a real rock and roll church for some people that don't know, but I bet you John knows. The Rock and Roll Church, the official Rock and Roll Church, was the Limelight in New York City. Wow, what a place that was. If you've never been there, you could never go there again. It was an old church converted into, I think it had 3 different sections. And one was a rock club. And brace yourselves for all of you very, very religious people. Don't want to freak anybody out. But the stage was the altar. And it was pretty wild because it had this incredible stained glass window behind it. So you were on stage and it was just nuts. And really cool. And like most really cool places, unfortunately, they went out of business. Probably because of all the interesting things that were going on there. Yeah, so Sunday's Rock and Roll Church. That's what it is today. Awesome. Let's see, who else? Surfer Boy. Hi from Boston. Day 2. Yes, it is day 2. Let's see who else is hanging here. The Hendrix chord. You got it. The E7 sharp 9. One of my favorite chords. And this guitar does Strat really well. So basically you have the bridge pickup. And then when you move it over to the middle position, it does this coil from the neck and this coil from the bridge, giving it a really nice stratty mid and bridge pickup, I believe is what they were going for with these two. So, fun guitar to play. It is like butter. And, yeah, let's show off a little bit of this beautiful thing. So, check this out. Paper thin. Look at how thin this thing is. And look at this back. This is what I love the best about this guitar, is the back. No heel. What does that mean? Usually there's a bolt on here to connect the neck to the body for you non-guitar players. And this is incredibly slick and thin. Look at that. Nothing plays like a Parker fly. I'm sorry. And that is a true statement. And that was their slogan. Nothing plays like a Parker. And seriously, zero guitars play like a Parker. They may become kind of close, but not happening. Not even close, in my opinion. And not to bash other guitars. I mean, all guitars have different features and things that I love about them, especially the Strandbergs. They have this ergonomic design. Much like the Parker, when you sit with it, it just sits perfectly in your lap, and there's no extra weight, and it doesn't fight you when you play. That's my main concern when I pick up a guitar. If I feel like I'm fighting with it, I don't even plug it in. I try it first, unplugged. And if I feel like I'm fighting with it, out, bye-bye. Next. So yeah, the Strandbergs are not like that at all. Those guitars are super, super slick as well. And same with the Ibanez Pia. Awesome guitar. Yeah, so let's see if anybody has any questions. So let's recap of what's up for anybody who may have missed yesterday's broadcast or doesn't understand the title. It is International Guitar Month. April is officially International Guitar Month. And basically, it started in 1987. And it was, what was it? Basically, let's get this right before I go on with anything. So, it started in 87 by the Guitar and Association, Guitar Accessories. That's what it is. Guitar Accessories Marketing Association. That's what it is. Gamma. Gamma, like gamma rays, like the Hulk. And so they started this in 87, and I don't know if it really got much attention. When I was doing retail, I don't remember too many guys talking about it, and there were no like major sales, but we would run sales during the month of April for one reason only, according to my old boss, was because people were getting their money back from the tax returns. And he wanted to run sales throughout April in preparation for that. Smart guy. So he started April 1st and said, when you get your tax return, and he would give specials and have people put down deposits, and they can hold it for 3 weeks until April 15th or a little further out. And then when they got their money, they can come back in and take the guitar home. Yeah, he did a layaway thing. So it was pretty cool. Good idea. And this was all before internet and, all of these awesome places that you could just buy stuff from instantly and have it at your doorstep the next day. But, yeah, so let's see. Who else is hanging here? Andy? Hello. Thank you. I understand that much. Yes. Let's see who else is hanging out. Adopt a guitar. Give a guitar to a loving home. Yes. You know what? Everybody that plays, if you have a guitar addiction, buy another one this month or next month. But, and I don't get anything from this except the joy and fun of just hanging out with you guys. So like, don't buy a guitar because I told you so. But it's a great thing. I just had a student the other day tell me, and I'm not gonna like toot my own horn, but I've gotten this a lot, and people say it's their favorite hour of the week, and I'm really grateful that they find that lessons with me is their favorite hour of the week. But one thing he did say, which was really cool, and we got into a whole conversation about it after he said this, because it is a proven statistic that when you play guitar or an instrument and you take lessons and you're progressing, the whole journey from starting from the beginning to actually being able to play is a form of meditation. And usually people who have or play guitar or an instrument wind up with lower blood pressure and better people skills, believe it or not, and better work skills. Like they work well with other people in groups, especially if they've ever been in a band. Um, Except for like we won't mention any names, but there's some famous rock stars that have a reputation for not working well with others, so that kind of blows that out of the water. But you get the idea. So yeah, it's been interesting statistics, around playing an instrument. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just like trying to get people back into playing guitar or playing whatever. Yesterday, my friend Keith jumped on and he said, "Well, I don't play guitar, but can I play saxophone all month?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Why not? It's an instrument." So, you know, break out the instruments and play. And if you sing, sing. It's an instrument that counts. Let's see, who else is hanging out? Good businessman, says Ed. Yes, yeah, he was smart that way. Um, Burns stink for real. Oh, yeah, man. Be careful with the whole soldering. Don't burn yourself too much. Yes. Yeah, I don't want to do that, Mike, because then I'll have to do a sponsored by, and I don't want to wind up having this video be sponsored by. I'm just here chatting, but maybe I'll do that. I'll do one for my buddy Mike Friedman and one for my buddy Caleb. Yeah, so I have people that I buy stuff from, and I have stuff set up with my students that are current students, and if they want to buy any gear, I have a couple of people that when you call them and say, "Hey, I studied with Vince," they get the quote unquote Vince discount. So you pay for stuff a lot less than if you just showed up and didn't say you were my student. Yeah. All right. But that's a conversation for another time. We'll just get into the fractal thing since I think I got it going now. Multitasking here while I'm doing this. All right, so here, let's see if this works. If it doesn't, you might wind up seeing something on my hard drive, or on my desktop, which there's nothing to see. You'll just see a blank mess, I think. Yeah, you'll just see some icons and some garbage. So let's see. Let's try this window. This is supposed to be the Axe Edit. Wow, first try and it worked. All right, so this is what I have going on with my fractal stuff. So it's not really that involved. So this is the input. So just think of over here like you're just plugging your guitar in. And then it goes to a wah and a volume right here. And that, if you look down on the floor, which I think that would be this camera. Try that again. All right, let's try one more time. No, it's not the right camera at all. Let's see if we can fix that. Source. We want the source to be a camera. And it's not behaving. Bummer. Hold on, we'll get this right. Yeah. No, that's the PDF. Pedals, it's got to be this one. There we go. All right, so I'm kind of in the way. Make me a little smaller. Zip. All right, so basically what we have here is my foot controller for the fractal. And this button right here is the tuner. Okay. And then this one right here, when I hit that, that is a dedicated switcher. So if you look on, I'll show you this first. So when I hit this mag piezo button, okay, now we have acoustic guitar. Okay, but if we come back to our other page, you can see input 1 muted and input 3 got highlighted. Watch. So basically the Parker has a stereo cable, goes out into 2 inputs on the back of the Axe-Fx 3, which come into here. Input 1, over here, input 1. Whoops, my mouse is gone. Where's the mouse? There it is. Input 1, and then input 3 is the acoustic. And then I have it going into a mixer, a little compression, an EQ, this little enhance block, which gives it a little more sweetness. And then I drop it in over here by my delay and reverb, because honestly, I don't really want chorus and flange and delay, at least this delay, on my acoustic. And then I can go to a looper and we go out. So basically it's all set up to, we come down here again, let's see. I actually have to remember to touch that screen. And then I can go to looper mode and I can record something here. Let's see. I don't want that though. I want the acoustic. So let's go to acoustic. Yeah, we could just do like a little, I don't know. Let's just try this. That'll just keep going. And then from here, I can just switch it to a lead sound. First I have to get out of the acoustic. Hello?
Hi there, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm live right now, and you're on live with everybody else. So, go to YouTube. Oh, well, I'm live right now. Everybody say hi to Mom. Okay, bye. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so yeah, so basically that's the looper setup, right? And then I can switch between the sounds. We could start that again. And then we can do something really wacky. We can make it go half speed. Which is weird. I don't like that one. But reverse is cool. We got reverse. So fun stuff. All right, let's get back to the full view. There we are. Hello, people. Yeah, so, you know, just messing around with some guitar stuff for International Guitar Month. You know, I'm just popping on, show you a couple guitars, show you a couple things about the Parker Fly today, which is really one of my favorite instruments, like I said. So, yeah, there you have it. Let's see, who else is hanging out here? Have yours a Quad Cortex? No, I do not have a Quad Cortex. I don't own a Quad Cortex. I know some people who do, and I know some people who own both the Quad Cortex and a Fractal unit, and they prefer the Fractal. Most people that have both. One thing that I cannot get my head around for the year 2023 is Quad Cortex doesn't have an online editor. What I mean by that is, or a desktop editor. So you can't do this stuff on the computer with the Quad Cortex. And that to me is a A big no, a big pass for me. Because most of the time I'm sitting when I work on my sounds, and then I need to press the buttons and make sure everything's working correctly. So you'd have to keep it on the desk and edit, and then put it on the floor and step on it, and or you have to bend down and edit, and it's just all kinds of inconvenient in my opinion. So, but whatever. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, it's strange, right? You would think that a company like that would have a desktop editor, right? All right. Hey, Rob MC, what's going on? Long time no see. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, just talking some guitar stuff today, and going to be doing that every day this month in celebration of Guitar Month, International Guitar Month. So if you didn't know, now you do. So grab a guitar, try and play every day for the people who own guitars and don't get to play often. Grab your guitar, practice, do something, interesting with it, even if it's just maybe an old song you haven't played in a while, or just grab something off the internet and try and do a new song. Yesterday I showed everybody a little riff off of let's get out of our looper mode, go back to scenes and clean it up a pinch. Go with this. So yesterday we did a little riff, the Peter Gunn riff. I messed it up at the end there, but you get the idea. So basically we did that because it's a 1-string riff. It's just 6-string open twice, 2nd fret, back to the open, then 3rd fret, and then 5th fret, and then back to 3rd fret. Yeah, so it's a pretty easy riff. Hey, what's going on? Conspiracy Music, what is up? Hello, thanks for being here. And Surfer Boy wants to know, what's today's riff? I don't know. I didn't plan a riff. Yesterday I didn't plan a riff either. It just happened by accident. But let's plan a riff. Let's figure out a riff. What is an easy riff? Something easy. Not too many notes, and possibly 1 string. Let's see. Yeah, we could do that. We could do, let's see, what was this? What's that? One of the first riffs I learned. Dwayne, yeah, that's cool, ever. Yes. Riffs are always accidents. You're sitting around, you come up with something, and it's like, ooh, that's cool. And then, you record it and try and remember it. Or, back in the day, before the iPhone, I used to call myself if I was out. I would call my home phone that had an answering machine on it, and I would play the riff into the answering machine. So when I got home later at night, I'd be able to figure it out and practice it. Yes, but we could do that that White Stripes riff. That's pretty easy. It's 1 string. Let's do that. All right, so basically this is a 1-string riff as well, and I think it's the right key. I haven't played this one in years, but it sounds right. I think it went a G to A. Which puts that riff here. Yeah, we'll do that today. So guitar players, grab your guitar. And I know some people complain because I don't have dots on the front when I teach. And I say it just makes you a better player when you use your ear and try and figure out what I'm doing. But I'm going to tell you the frets. So we're at the 7th fret. Okay, so 7. And if you use these fingers, it'll go much smoother. You don't want to just use one finger, even though it's a one-string riff, because you want your fingers to start moving around. So go 7, and then you do 7 again. Then you go 10 with your pinky, then back to 7. Okay, so piece of cake, 2 fingers. All right, then you go to 5, and then you go to 3, and then you go to 2. And you could use your first finger for all of that. However, if you want to start challenging yourself with different fingers, sometimes what I do is I land my pinky on the A, 5th fret, 6th string, and go 4, 2, 1. Here's what I mean. So now you're just going in a row with some other fingers instead of just the one finger. Right? And it gets your fingers trained to start moving around instead of just relying on one finger and sliding all over the place. So it's kind of a cool thing to do, and it gets you moving around. So here we go. So it's 7, 10, 7 twice, 10 once, back to 7. Then 5, then 3, and then 2. All right? And then if you want to substitute fingers 4, 2, 1, you can. And then in piece of cake, power chord, 2-note chords are power chords. So you got your 6th string, 3rd fret, and power chords are 2 strings in a row. Okay? But you skip a fret in the middle. So that's a G to an A power chord, and then we get ourselves a little E power chord. Yeah. Let's see, what comments do we have here? Riffs are always accidents. Okay, I think I saw that one. Yes, I did. Okay, good one. Yes. And then Walk This Way, wouldn't mind learning that one. Yeah, you know what? That's a pretty cool riff, and it's not that difficult. It's a great riff. I remember years ago, we brought up, Mike would remember this. Mike plays bass 3. Mike would remember this. We brought up Alex, little guy on drums at the time. I think he was 8, something crazy like that. And he came up and he played Walk This Way on drums with us, with my band, which was really cool. A little afternoon coffee. All right, so here, Walk This Way. So that riff is, man, I remember when that came on and it was on the radio and I heard that. I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. I want to learn that along with like 100 more, like Crazy Train and Whole Lot of Love and Heartbreaker, all of that stuff. It was just like, oh man, it made you want to play guitar. You know, all of these tunes were just seriously cool. But here it is. You know, it's open on the 5th string to 1 and 2. Now you can pick it or you can hammer it. I think he picks it. Nah, he hammers it. So it's open, 1, 2. On the 5th string, and then 2 on the 4th string. You do that twice in a row. And then you hit the 6th string open. That's it. Do it over and over. And then there's a little variation in the timing there. And then again. And then this time he goes to the 6th string, 3rd fret, and pulls off to open, and ends with the first finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Yeah, it's a great riff. Definitely a cool riff. Man, there's so many great riffs. But easy ones on 1 string, I think I want to try and stick with. Maybe I'll pre-plan it. I'll go through all my... I have books full of transcriptions. Just tons of them. And that's another thing I've been doing on my downtime. I've been digitizing all my lessons and getting them into a format that is not my chicken scratch. So, Wendy giving away the keys to the kingdom. Nah, there's so many things. But riffage is cool. Gotta learn riffs. It's the only way to get better. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't like doing covers. You know what? If it wasn't for covers, I wouldn't be the guitar player I am, because it was just tons of different influences coming from all different angles. I had, hey, Price in the house, another former student. Yeah, so everybody, I mean, it's showing that there's more people on here that are showing up, that are here. So how about if you're here, comment, say hi. Don't hang out in the wings and not comment. Especially if you're on Twitch. I'm trying to build my Twitch account up over there, and last night I got about, I don't know, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 new followers over on Twitch. So I'm building up the Twitch account because they actually pay artists to be on their platform, unlike Facebook and other places. But you have to meet some specific criteria first, and I've met a bunch of it unknowingly. So if you would, and it would be super awesome if you would just go over there and make up a free account. If you're an Amazon Prime, I believe if you have a Amazon Prime account, you could subscribe to me, and when you do, I get like $5 just because you have an account, and it doesn't cost you anything. So that would really help. If a bunch of people would do that, it's awesome. Yeah, so every little bit helps, and it all adds up. Let's see, I've seen some riffs. Just learned, wait, oh well. Just learned, oh well. Speaking of fun riffs, I don't know that song. Who's that by? Let's back up. We have Whole Lot of Love, Rob MC. Yeah, So that riff, a lot of people think it's just played straight, but he's bending it, which is nuts. So he's pretty awesome. Jimmy Page, of course, and a lot of people have their opinion about his style, and it's of my opinion too. I mean, Jimmy Page is the riff king. I don't care who you ask or what you think about Led Zeppelin, but I think Jimmy Page is the riff king. We'll just start out there. His riffs are super cool, totally guitar centric riffs, obviously, but when it comes to him playing guitar solos, his fast stuff is pretty sloppy. And people get mad at me when I say that, but for the time, the bar was where it was, and he was at the top of it. Him, Jeff Beck, for that stuff, I mean, nobody can match that. Then you had, like the guys like Al Di Meola in the Mahavishnu Orchestra and doing his thing with his own, progressive, insane guitar picking. And that's where people would go, oh, well, compared to that guy, Jimmy Page is a sloppy mess. Well, yeah, okay, but I don't know too many people humming those other guys' riffs. You think about it. That's just totally awesome. You know, I remember I had a friend who lived across the street, and he had a Les Paul, and his name was Remo. Yeah. And he had a Les Paul and an old, I think it was Ampeg tube amp. And he didn't get to play much. And he would hear me playing, and I didn't know he played for years. And then one day he came over, he's like, why don't you bring your guitar? Come on over and, we'll jam. And I was like, whoa. And I was afraid, I was younger and I figured he was like great because, he's asking me to come over and jam. And I'm like, I don't know how to jam, So he's like, I'll show you some stuff and we'll jam. So I go over and he was totally into Led Zeppelin and he had a Les Paul custom Cherry Burst that you would see basically Jimmy Page playing. That was his idol. And he let me borrow the guitar for like unlimited times. He would just say, yeah, why don't you just take it home? And then, I'm not going to play all week because he worked. He's like, but bring it back on Saturday. So I would do that a few times a month, and that guitar was awesome. Beautiful guitar. I have a picture of that guitar somewhere. I should bring that out for another time. Oh man, Dick Dale. Rob, you're going to make people's wrists fall off. That's not an easy riff. It is a one-string riff, but you know what? If you want to practice your tremolo picking, that's the one to do. One string, super fast as you can do it. And you could just kind of hang and do it slow. And then you just get that tremolo going faster and faster. So it's open, and then 4, 5, 7, 8, 12. And that's it. And then you go back to 8 and 7. And that's just varying the riff, but it's still 8-7, then 7-5, then 5-4. But yeah, it's a great tremolo picking exercise. That song, it really starts getting your wrist going, and it's not easy because it's like turbo fast. I mean, it's awesome. You got to watch Dick Dale. Now, if I remember correctly, Dick Dale played lefty, but he flipped the guitar over just like this with no restringing like Jimi Hendrix did, so the strings would be the right order but upside down. Dick just took the guitar and flipped it upside down, and his high strings were on the bottom, on the top, and his low strings were on the bottom, complete opposite. Really wacky stuff. Let's see, I missed Price. Price is over on Twitch. Awesome. Yeah, man, thank you for going over to Twitch. If I get, I think it's three unique viewers every time, and people that comment and chat. And then I need 8 hours of streaming time within 1 month. And I think I've got the follower criteria down and a couple of other things. So, but yeah, man, thank you. And anybody else who has a Twitch account, please head over there and chat. Say hi, chat from over there. It'd be great. I'd appreciate it. Let's see. Prince, you got to use 3. Okay. Three chatters. Oh, price. Jeez. I need new glasses. I've been needing new glasses for about 12 years. It's hilarious. Let's see. Let's see who else. Oh, see, I missed a couple of things. Mom is on. Hello, Mom. She made it. Awesome. Oh, the Rover. Yeah, Joe Perry is too. You know what? But exactly, their swagger. They have this feel, and I think it's really from that blues genre-based rock. So, like, they're blues, it's just, they started out as blues guitar players and then they became their own thing. And part of that own thing has this, like, swing, that rhymes, to it. And that's kind of Eddie Van Halen, too. Like, if you listen to Eddie, he's a blues guitar player. In one of his interviews, he just said, I'm just a fast Eric Clapton. That was how he described himself. He said, I owe everything to Eric Clapton. He used to sit with a record player that he was able to slow down the records and play to Eric Clapton riffs and just get them really good. And then he would do his thing to them. And then he added the tapping. But everything he did was blues based. Listen to stuff like Hot for Teacher. But you get the idea. It's just like all of those guys. They have their thing that sets them apart, and a lot of these guys had that swagger, that swingy riff. I call it the bounce. That's what I call it, because you try and play like "I'm the One" by Eddie. That's it. That's like turbo, I haven't played that in years, and that's one of those ones that if you don't stay on top of it, you just got to get that whole bounce. His wrist looks like it's just so comfortable and loose, and that's another thing, just like trying to get that tremolo picking and be comfortable and loose about all the stuff that you do. That's when you start getting the fluidity that I think a lot of people strive for, and they're like, oh, how do I get fast? How do I make it sound smoother? And it's just relax, just chill. Jamie, what's up? Good to see you. It's been a while. It's been a minute. I said that last night. We figured out it was like 200,800 and something minutes since the last time I streamed. So 200,800 and something minutes. Pretty nuts. Jamie had the privilege of jamming with Eddie. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, that's a cool thing. I got to meet Mr. Ed. Got to meet him. It was very cool hanging out with him for a brief moment. And I was at the event that he did at the Smithsonian Institute on what it means to be an American. Talk about learning about how we all should be Americans. Go watch that interview. They came over here from Holland broke with like $20 at the time. And that was it. And that family went through all kinds of stuff. And Eddie, and his brother, they didn't speak English. They were treated like crap, to be honest with you, because they were immigrants and people back then were brutal. So, wasn't cool. But go watch the interview. I was there and I got to meet him and talk to him after. Pretty awesome. It's on YouTube. Just type in Edward Van Halen what it takes to be an American or what it means to be an American, but just Edward Van Halen Smithsonian Institute. You'll find the video, and it's pretty awesome. It is actually really eye-opening. And he talks about how he came up with tapping, and he said, people say I came up with tapping. He goes, I'm not claiming I came up with tapping, and someone else probably did it before me, but I just did it out of necessity. So, yeah. Eddie was a great rhythm player. That's what made him so good. Yeah, made him so good. So God? Yeah, God good. Either one. It did help that his brother was an awesome drummer and they got to jam together every day. And that's what made Eddie and Alex both insanely good. Let's see. What's this? Yeah, you wouldn't think Eddie was that into Clapton, but he was. Yeah. No, it's funny. I have an old tape that I recorded from like I think it was like, I don't know what year. It could have been 1982. I recorded it off the radio, and it was a live interview with Eddie Van Halen. And he talks about what he used to do when he was a kid and how he would practice and all his influences. And he just talked about a lot of cool stuff. And I found it recently, and I need to digitize it and get it off this cassette because the cassette looks like it's ready to break. The tape looks really dry. So I want to see if I can salvage that before it goes bye-bye. Yeah, man. Yeah, it stinks. It's like you just, you can't say enough about the guy and his contribution to music, and he influenced so many people. And I'm glad that Wolf is doing stuff on his own, as well as maybe doing some Van Halen tunes here and there, popping up for these benefits and things and blowing out like Hot for Teacher. That was awesome. Because he's great. He's a great player, too. All right, a little coffee. So let's see. Maybe I'll do a tune or two here. I haven't played much of anything in a while. And last night we were having trouble with the playback from iTunes, and I figured out that, believe it or not, my newer desktop computer has less RAM than my 15-year-old laptop, MacBook. So I have to get some RAM for this computer because it was just not cooperating. So I'm going to shut some things down here that I had open and see if we can play a tune. Let's see. Hopefully this will work tonight. Open says me. Yeah, and there's another problem. You got to stop it. All right, let's see. Do I have WMD in here? We'll try that one. Yeah, so I hope everybody's digging these. I'm going to go live every day in April because April is International Guitar Month, and it's just cool. I want to spark interest in guitar again, and not only for everybody else, but for myself. Little 30-day challenge to keep it fresh. So it would be really cool to hear some of what you guys maybe got out of this or are doing after this. Put it in the comments if you have any plans, if you want to hit a riff or something. And if you're really into possibly taking lessons, I also have been busy since October and built a whole new site, which is not right up there. Let's try that again. It's right over there, vinceslessons.com. Some of the links still don't work because it has been a lot of work to get that up and running. And like I said, I did it all myself. But yeah, there's going to be some cool stuff. I'm going to have some sample lessons. I might cut some of the things that we go over here out and throw them up there as some sample lessons for people. Um, let's see. Jamie says, Randy, Eddie's friend, also jammed with Mark Kendall prior to Great White. Nice. Yeah. Well, all of these guys are just, they're all friends. They all know each other, when you're in that circle. There's a drummer that I used to jam with years ago at a place called Wild Mike's in Lodi. Or was it Hackensack? I think it was Lodi. I think it was technically Lodi. But Brian Tishy, I think that's how you say his last name. And he's played with everybody. This guy is amazing. But he went on to be like the drummer, the sought after drummer. He's played with Billy Idol. He's played with so many people. And, I used to play with him every week. And, you just never know where people go. Different people, wind up in different spots. And you learn a lot as you go. And, yeah, he's a great drummer. And I just recently found out he's a really great guitar player, too, which is annoying because, he's great at both. But more power to you if you could play two instruments great. Yeah. WMD? You have weapons of mass destruction? That's right. Weapons of mass distribute. Yeah. Let's see. Where are we going here? Let's see. Who else? Super digging them. Keep them going, pal. All right, cool. Well, you know what? We'll keep it going. By the end of the night, I will have learnt a few tune and hung with my buddy. Great video. All right. Awesome. Thanks. Yeah, man, I'm going to keep doing these. There's going to be one every day. Who knows what'll happen. I think there's going to be some guitar restrings. One, because I need to restring them. And two, people actually ask me, how do you restring a guitar? So I have a couple of videos on my YouTube channel with guitar restrings, but I may do a few live just so you could see how long it really takes, because the videos online are cut down, even though they're still pretty long, because I like to explain what I'm doing. But like if you do it properly and you clean the guitar the right way and you change the strings, it should take at least a half hour to an hour, depending on the type of guitar and what features they have. So, like for example, like on this guitar, I'll show you real quick. When I restring this, this guitar is absolutely the best at everything. Okay, this thing I can restring literally and clean it up probably in 10 to 15 minutes tops. And the reasons are because Ken Parker is a genius and thought of everything. So there's this little block here, this little switch. All right, let's get close with the switch. So this switch right here, all right, locks the tremolo bar in the down position like this, right? I take all the strings off at once. The bar stays put. Perfect. The strings come right out of the back. Whoops, I'm holding it the wrong way. Let's try that again. Strings come right out of here, slide right out, and the tuning pegs are Shaler locking. So you put the string in once, and you clip it, and you tighten it. And there's no... I'm on the wrong camera. That's why we can't see this. There's no winding. So you put the string through once, you tighten the back, you snip off the excess, and that's how this guitar stays in tune so well, because there's no excess string around a tuning peg to slip. So all the different guitars take different time lengths or whatever, and some guitars take longer and some take shorter, but this is absolutely the quickest guitar. No, they are not like a Floyd Rose. They do lock, so this locks. You just screw this in, and there's a peg that pushes up against the top of the tuning machine head on the inside, and it kind of crushes the string into place, which is awesome because it stays in tune. Let's see. Do I mess with bass at all? Yes, I do. I actually have an old Steinberger fretless, which is awesome. I have a RG Ibanez, which is probably my favorite bass. It's got a very thin neck. and so does the Steinberger. That's why I like that guitar too. And then I have a P bass that a friend of mine built for me. My God, that had to be in like 1992 or 3. He built this bass for me, and it is a fretless as well. And it's more like a Fender P bass. It's pretty cool. So yes, I do mess with bass. Hate restringing, but it has to be done. Yeah, it's like the dentist, man. Ugh, I hate the dentist. Who doesn't? Jamie, yes. What's this? Oh, please. If it has strings, you can play it. Yeah, pretty much. So there was this one time when I worked at a store called Bach to Rock, which was not the Bach to Rock that is now all over the U.S. We were the original Bach to Rock. But anyway, some guy brought in a banjo, and it was an electric banjo, and no one in the store could play banjo. And one of the guys said, "Oh, go get Vince. He could test it out. He'll be able to play it." So I get the banjo, and I'm like, "Oh, it's electric." The first thing I do is I go to a Marshall stack, and I plug the banjo into the stack, and I played Eruption because I didn't know how to play banjo. So I just played the tapping part. Yeah, hold on, let's get that right. So yeah, I just pulled that out and played that on the banjo, and everybody was like, "What the hell?" And we bought the banjo. Why not? He was trying to sell it to us. You're not telling Larry? Oh yeah. Actually, Larry did a guitar clinic at that Bach to Rock years ago. When he was an East Coast guy, we were hanging out. And I said, "Hey, you want to do a clinic at the store where I teach?" He's like, "Yeah." So I brought him in. It was fun. All right, people. I am going to do a song for everybody who is still hanging with me. And then I'm going to call it a night because I think I'm getting hungry. And the coffee and the banana that I had earlier are not doing it for me right now. So let's see if this works. Let's see, do I want to use this guitar? Because I haven't played it in so long. Sure, we'll just stick with the Parker for today. Alright. Let me mute the microphone so you get the good audio and not the room. Where are we? Microphone. There you are. Okay. And I'll show you the pedal board. So I'm going to go over to here. Nope. There it is. And so over here, you hit this button here, and this takes you to presets. See, it's labeled presets. So I remember what the heck I'm doing. And then all of these different green lights are different tunes that I have programmed in here. So we have WMD. Boom. There it is. And now we're on automatically jumps to scene mode, and I'm ready to go. So here it is. WMD. Get you back to the screen. And no, I'm not going to sing. Oh, yes. Kill the microphone.
weapon of mass destruction is human.
Hey, hey, hey. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. Hold on. We got to make that stop. See, I keep forgetting. Okay. I have to update. So this is a whole new. It's not new. I've had this computer, so it's not like I bought anything new. But I'm broadcasting from a different section and a different computer. And when I imported all the songs, I forgot to unselect everything. So now they just keep going. And last night when I was starting to talk, it started to play a song. And I was like, I'm not expecting to play this. Because I haven't really played any of the songs since the last broadcast in October. I haven't done any songs, honestly. I've been doing more material for the website and working on techniques and stuff for the videos that I'm going to be putting up on the site. So I haven't played songs. So everything you're hearing is just me hopefully remembering everything as we go. So this is all 210% improvised and wung, if you will. So, broadcasting from home, but sounding out of this world. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's like pretty amazing the sound quality that you can get now. And I don't want to say anybody can do it because there's definitely a lot of stuff that you need to learn to do. It's not easy, but compared to even 10 years ago, maybe even 5, just the sound quality of the gear and the possibilities have just really jumped leaps and bounds. I would never imagine I could do any of this 5 years ago. And I believe I started, what year was it? It was probably about 5 years ago. But, you go back and dig and you see my old broadcasts and I'm like screwing around trying to get stuff to work. And, I mean, that really hasn't changed too much. But it's definitely in a lot more of an organized way than it was when I first started. Right? Cheers with the coffee. Yep. Say hello to Lisa if she's still on. Oh, okay. I'm sorry if I missed you, Lisa. Bummer. Is that Lisa Bonner? Is that who you're referring to? Because I was just talking about you last night with Paulie K. Let's go back. Let's see if the comment came up and I missed it or if this software is just ghosting people, which is why, again, I may stop after April doing the multiple platforms because people just get lost or the software doesn't pick it up. Holy cow, I found it way back here. Lisa, bummer. All right, so Lisa and I were in a band together, her band, which is the Lisa Bonner Band, or Bonnerville, which is the new band. And I am going to come and play with you guys as soon as I'm able. Yeah. So they're playing, I believe it's the Montauk Festival out in Long Island. And I just can't do it. So I'm kind of bummed about that. But yeah, Lisa's great. She's fun. The band is fun. Paulie is just a blast to play with. He's awesome on bass. Oh my God. He is like, if you're having your worst day ever and you don't want to play and you step on stage with that dude, you're in for a ride because you'll forget about everything. The guy is just like such a blast to play with. He will knock you out of your bad mood instantly. It's just a blast. Let's see, who else is hanging? Thank you for the applause. Yes, thank you. And then that's soon. Oh, okay. Now I get the other thing. Is so Vi. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Jamie. Definitely appreciate that. you so got the Ultrazone guitar? When do you get the Hydra? Oh man. Well, the guitar that Jamie's talking about is over my shoulder, over my right shoulder, right there. Um, and that thing is insane. Um, Wendy and I were Wendy. It's Wendy's fault that I have that. And that's a whole video and a night on its own. So that'll probably be one of the 30 days of broadcasting. We'll have that guitar featured. It'll be a whole night. And I'm even going to see if I can get the guy who built it to be a guest on the show that night, because that thing is a beast. And some of you may know who this guitar builder is. He is the owner of Emerald Guitars. Yeah. So you should check out Emerald Guitars. And if you do email them or have any interaction with them, tell them I sent you, because they make some incredible acoustic instruments. I'm pretty sure Larry Mitchell just got one of his acoustics. Yeah. So anyway, let's see. Now that would be cool. Yes, it would be cool, and I'm sure he would do it too. Alistair is a really great guy. That's the owner of the company, Alistair Hay, and builds fantastic instruments. One of these days I'll probably grab an acoustic from him. But right now I don't really play acoustic too much, so I don't see the point in grabbing one. Are you doing your shows at the same time each time? No, so these are just random. These lives for the month of April are going to be random times when I have time during the day. Just I'm going to try and block out an hour, and if we go over, we go over. But I'm really shooting for every day, and there's some stuff going on. Not going to get into it here because this is all about positive vibes and things that involve music. So, but when I have time during the day, I'm going to try and jump on and say hey to you guys and make up for one, lost time, and two, April is Guitar Month, so why not come back strong with a fun, cool thing of just motivating people to play guitar? Why not? Let's see. Emerald guitars are amazing. Yes, they are. They are awesome guitars. David, hello, David. Looking very sharp. Thank you. I'm trying. Metalhead Hippie, my buddy. Boom! That's right. People, if you don't know Metalhead Hippie, go look him up. Go say hi. Tell him I sent you. He's a cool dude. He helped, and his whole community helped get me to over 1,000 subs on YouTube. He's a really cool guy. He's got a nice show over there, and he helps out a lot of independent artists, and he even promotes people who aren't, who are well known already. He does not discriminate. He plays whatever he thinks and wants to play that is good. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, so David Wendy says hi. I don't know if you saw that. Surfer Boy, it's working. I'm motivated. Cool. Yeah, it's just the guitar is a really cool thing. We were talking about earlier about how one of my students, said to me the other day that, it was the best hour of the week for him. And you know what? The other thing he followed up with was he could have a really crappy day at work, and he can come home, and he knows that he can come home and have at least a half hour of peace at night when his family goes to bed, and he could play guitar, and it kind of decompresses him. He said it's like therapy. And I said, well, actually, and we talked about this earlier, for anybody who's just joining, it is therapy. It's definitely a therapy. It's been proven that learning an instrument or playing an instrument, once you learn it, is a form of meditation. So, all of you people who play guitar and or whatever, you're when you're in the zone, it's a form of meditation. When I'm playing, I don't really think about a lot of things except what I'm doing at the moment, which is playing. So it's a nice disconnect from all the other stuff. Guitar is therapy 1000%. So relaxing. Yeah, and it's true. King in the North is here. Thanks for being here. um, yeah, it's a total therapy. I had a lot of downtime the past 7 months, and even though I didn't play any songs, like I said earlier, I did not play any of my tunes. I did not play any of the cover tunes. I'm just sitting down playing through some of this stuff now, and as I'm going, I'm like, whoa, yeah, it's coming back. Oh boy, here comes that part. So it's like a crash course back into it all. But I played like the stuff that I'm working on for the website, and just stuff that I don't play on here, which I do have to set up a little kind of like, not looper, it's got to be more of a grab type thing, like a hold button, so I can do these like I guess they're like meditations. Really, what I do is I'll pick a chord. So hey, you know what, we're talking about it, so we'll just talk about it real quick. So basically what I'll do is, maybe I could do it like this. Let's see if this works. Let's see. Clean 2. That's not right, but it'll do for now. Oh, that's why we're still in WMD, and WMD has wacky stuff going on in it, so we need to get out of there. All right. So this is what I usually do. What I'll do is I'll just say, all right, you know what, I'm going to pick a chord, and we'll take like this one, and I'll just have those tonalities going and then improvise over the top. So here's an example. So what I'll do is I'll just grab the chord from the looper real quick. And then I'll just kind of hang out. So stuff like that. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Well, thanks. I'm glad. It makes me happy. Makes me happy that someone is, you guys are getting some kind of enjoyment out of this, and awesome. Yeah, that's the whole point. I just want to go online and just, like I said, make up for some lost time. A lot of people emailed me and texted me like, "Are you okay? Where have you been? What's going on?" And and I appreciate that. Everybody who is concerned. So we're good. Hanging in there. And I just was looking forward to this because I knew I've been wanting to do this for a while. Actually, a memory just came up on Facebook, and I tried to do this once before, a couple of years ago. Where I said I'm going to go live every day in April for Guitar Month, and I don't remember what happened. Probably the pandemic happened, and my head probably wasn't really interested in going live every day. So, but yeah, you know what? It's just it's cool, hanging out, playing, and going online and chatting about guitar. I mean, it's awesome. Guitar is awesome, and I have a nice community here with the help of everybody that shares. Especially my wife and Metalhead Hippie, some of my other students that share my broadcasts, and all of you guys and gals who share my broadcast. I totally appreciate it, and it's developed a nice thing. One of the features on my new website is going to be a private community, because there's a bunch of people who don't really want to do Facebook, and they don't want to do a Facebook community, let alone a group over there, because there's a lot of things that go along with that. Like, you'll be on the group, and then ads come up, and you get some weird people, and this is all going to be up legit type stuff. You have to form an account, and then there's no ads, there's no BS. It's just going to be a guitar community, and that's the next step of the website. Yeah, so that's what we got. Rob says awesome, cool. Yeah. So let's see, Wendy. I got to get my story out there too. Yes, Wendy really does need to get her story out there, and I'm gonna see. We got to try and focus, and I'll try and help you. But we got to get a nice website and stuff together for Wendy as well. Yeah, man. See, Hippie, he don't do Facebook. Hippie don't do Facebook. That's right. And you know what? A lot of people don't do Facebook. There's just a lot of stuff, and you gotta. Honestly, I wouldn't do a lot of the stuff that I do if it wasn't for music, because I wouldn't have a reason to, but, with music, it's really cool. Kevin J, what's up? Yes, what's up? And what power amp do you use to power your Axe-Fx so you can play through your cabs? Okay, so, good question. I have basically ditched all of my non-powered cabs except for that guy in the middle back here. That's a Randall, and it's a passive cab, which means it's not powered. It's a stereo cabinet because I have to have stereo. I'm spoiled. If and when I did use that cabinet, I used the Randall RT250, which is a all-tube power amp. It has 6L6s on one side and 84s in the other, so you can get the best of both worlds, or you can actually sync it up MIDI, and I can do that within the Axe-Fx, and I can have it either have both working at the same time, which would mean I'd have 6L6s and 84s running at the same time in separate speakers, or I could have just 6L6s in both speakers, or just the 84s in the speakers. But that power amp is way too heavy, and moving that night after night is just brutal. And it also, if it drops, can get damaged. So I kind of retired that thing, and I was thinking of getting a Matrix. One of my good friends, Matt Picone over at Fractal, let me borrow his for a gig, and I recently, he texted me, it was like 5 years ago, and I totally forgot about it because I moved and it was in storage. Long story with that. But anyway, I forgot I had the power amp, and he said, hey, I need it back. Can you get it back to me? Can you check if you have it? And I was like, yeah, let me check, because I don't even remember if I have it. So I did have it, and oddly enough, it was going to Dweezil Zappa, which was really cool. So Dweezil now has the Matrix, and let me tell you something. I never used it for the gig, because when I got to the gig, we were able to go direct into the PA. So that's another thing that I do. So Kevin, Another thing that I do is I go direct into front of house, and they give me a monitor wedge, and I don't even use a cabinet. So that's what happened that night, and then again it got tucked away in storage. But before I gave it back to send it out, I turned it on and plugged it into that, and my God, it was beastly. So Matrix would be the way to go, just because I heard it and I know what it sounds like. The other thing that I use without power, with power, are these two Tech 21s on either side of the Randall. Those are powered. They're 500 watts, and they are loud, and they are crisp. They're FRFR, and they sound amazing. When I first got them, I brought two to gigs, but my band has a killer PA system, my cover band, so I was barely using them because we had a nice monitor system. So I wound up bringing just one, and then I think the last few gigs I stopped using the Tech 21s altogether. So yeah, you know, if you can and you have an opportunity and the place has a good PA system or the band you're in has a good PA system, you can get away with playing live direct through a PA with just the Axe-Fx. Otherwise, Matrix, if you could find Tech 21 power engines, these are called the Deuce Deluxes. They are no longer in production because since COVID, supplies have been limited and they can't get the stuff they need to build it. So they're just out in the wild. If you could find them used, I think new they were about $600, and if you get a good, a good deal on Reverb, I've seen them for between $200 and $400. So yeah, hopefully that answers all of your monitoring questions. Let's back up here because I missed a bunch of people. Let's see. Pete. Hello, Pete. Good to see you again. And Kevin says, I completely understand. I have a Friat. Oh, yeah, those are great, too. Yeah, they weigh a ton. All of these tube power amp type things are just brutal because they need certain components. And then to keep them safe, they got to put them in a metal chassis. I think, honestly, no lie, that RT250 weighed 70 pounds. And before all of this great fractal stuff, I was endorsed by Randall, and I had the RM4, which is their 4-module preamp thing. And I would use that with that power amp, and it weighed about 108 pounds. I think we weighed it once in one 4-space rack. So soon that got to be broken up into two space racks because it was just ridiculous to move. Yeah. All right. Let's see who else. I really miss my simple 65 Blackface Bandmaster. Yeah. I have a 1972 Fender Quad, and it's right over there. It's spotless, like all my gear, because of my crazy behavior. I brought it to 2 gigs. One was a street fair, and one was a private party outdoors. And believe it or not, I was too loud for both, and they were both outdoor gigs. That thing weighs a friggin' ton, and there's no use for it. So I'm probably going to sell it. And I don't want to put it on Reverb or eBay because I'm not shipping it. It's going to cost $1,000 to ship. It's so heavy. But it's a 72. It's spotless. It's the grill, the silver grill. It's a Fender Quad. Everything works. The old school tremolo and the reverb. It's really pretty awesome, though. So I don't know. Maybe I won't part with it. Let's see. Dog Paw. I think my Mesa M180 power amp outweighs me. Yeah. They're another company. Even those little 112 Mesas, I can't remember the Mark IVs or whatever from the 80s. Forget it. You need a forklift to pick that thing up and get it into the back of your car. My God. Thanks for the info. No problem. I got a pic of Dweezil playing through the THD Univalve brought from Performance Guitar. It used to be the amp everyone checked their guitars on. Lots of famous people played through it. Nice. That's cool. Vince, why are you holding my Parker? That's hilarious. Yes, it is your Parker, or is it my Parker? Yeah, this thing's awesome. I love this guitar. I will never sell this one. If I sell anything, it'll be other ones, but not this one. All right, let's see. I missed a bunch of questions. Wendy puts up, I'm an accountant, and that no one ever asks about what calculators I use. Different ones for different. Okay. Yes, I know. We are nerds with the guitar stuff. Sorry. That is a great answer. At one time, in the early 80s, at a PV Mace, 900 watts. Yeah, I remember that. And I had that PV. My first amp was a PV Bandit, just a little 112. And check this out. Another idea that I didn't monetize on, that my grandfather helped me with. So I wanted to play at night, and there were no little headphone amps, and there were no, software amps. There were no computers. So I said to my grandfather, is there a way we could put something to bypass the speaker and make a headphone jack without blowing up the headphones? And my grandfather was a real good, really good with this stuff. And he's like, yeah. So he came up with something. I don't know what he did, but he made this switch that shut off the speaker, and I was able to plug in headphones into a stereo jack that he put in. And that was my practice rig. It was this little PV Bandit with a homemade, headphone switch that switched off the speaker. Could have made a ton of money on that. Oops. You don't think of these things. You just do them because you do them out of necessity, and then someone else figured it out years later and made a crap ton of money on it. Let's see. What do we got here? Did I miss any questions? One thing that I'm going to try and do with this whole thing with questions is if you have a question, to please put a Q, a capital Q, and a colon next to it, because I recently found out that the software is able to find that. So if I put a Q and a colon in the search, all the questions will come up. So then I can cover the questions, say at the end of the broadcast, or instead of trying to find the questions here. Yeah, there you go. So let's see. This looks like another question here. Where did it go? There it is. If you had to replace the speakers in a vintage Fender Twin, what speakers would you choose? I'm looking at the Jensen C12K2 speakers. Well, at this point in time, I think everything that I choose is based on not just sound quality, but weight. So I know that I think it's Celestion, and there's probably a couple more companies, but they make this speaker called the Neodymium speaker. I think I'm saying it correctly. But that Randall cabinet has these speakers in it, and it sounds great, and it literally weighs about 28 pounds for two 12s and a wooden box. So that cabinet is super light. Randall doesn't make those anymore, I'm pretty sure, but you can see about the Neodymium speakers, and also, maybe type in lightweight guitar speakers. But again, everything that I do or purchase now at this point is based out of tone and convenience. And sometimes it's a little more leaning towards convenience, which is maybe a little bit of a bad decision sometimes, but usually things these days just sound great. So a lot of people get hung up on the tone factor and, oh my God, it sounds like this, or I need it to sound like this. And honestly, first of all, everything you hear on a record is not what you're going to get if you buy a Marshall half stack because your favorite guitar player used it. So first of all, it's going through a specific mic or a pair of mics. Then it's getting compressed, EQ'd, re-EQ'd. The board has its own sound to it. Back in the day, you know, these giant mixing boards. So everything that you hear once it hits the record and then, or the digital, you know, whatever you have, and you hit play, you are no longer hearing just the Marshall. You're hearing about 10 steps of processing. So a lot of people buy these things and get disappointed. Why don't I sound like that? Why doesn't it sound like the record? And they get all bent out of shape. And it's because there's a bunch of other factors that you can't really see or understand until you're in the business and realize, oh man, like they just did 1,000 things to my guitar tone. But anyhow, you got to buy stuff that sounds good to you and to your ear, because if not, you wind up just going down a rabbit hole of gear stuff, and it just gets to be really, really expensive fast. I haven't bought much stuff except for Fractal since I started using Fractal, because I know how it sounds, and I know that every time I plug it in, it's going to sound a certain way, and I'm not going to be disappointed. So I have an FM3, and when I travel, I take the FM3 because I know it's going to sound like my Axe-Fx 3. Especially if I have to travel either out of the country or across the state or take a plane. That's when I bring the Fractal, FM3, and the Strandberg, because the Strandberg is so small, it fits in the overhead on the plane. And I haven't gotten any problems from anyone at any airlines with that guitar. However, if I take the Parker, I get all kinds of problems, because the Parker has this PC board style ribbon cable. Okay, on all the Parkers that I like the most are the Ken Parker pre-US Music. After US Music bought them, they redesigned all the electronics, and they don't sound as good. They don't sound the same. It's a different thing. However, this guitar and all the deluxes and the stuff that I really love are these ribbon cable style connections. When I bring them to an airport, they see that and they think bomb. I'm not even lying. Like, they'll take my guitar, put it out, they get the bomb squad. They come and they swipe down the guitar with this special stuff to see if there's, you know, residue of like any kind of, I don't know. But they take the back off, you know, and I have to be there, and then they don't let you touch it. So when you pull that back off, there's a battery compartment, and they can rip the wires out. So now, you know, I'm standing over them and almost yelling at them to stop it and be careful, because, you know, they're going to wreck my guitar, and I'm going to California to go play somewhere at like a NAMM show demo, and I'm going to have a broken guitar. So that's why I don't bring the Parkers anymore. Or I bring a newer one with the newer electronics. So maybe that helped. Yes, great point on the weight. Yes. All old twins had insufficient speakers for the amp. They blow up. Yeah. Trying to remember. A friend of mine had a Blackface twin, and that thing was loud. And he was always blowing speakers. What's this? You holding out on me? Yeah. Yes, I am. I'm not selling the Parker. Sorry. Hey, John. Great to see you too. Thanks for hanging out and stopping by. Really appreciate it. So these are going to be daily things. It's going to be the International Guitar Month celebration to just get everybody to hang and really enjoy the beauty of playing guitar. Hey, Tracy, I just saw you. I hope you're still here. Good to see you, Tracy. Hope you're well. Yeah, so basically, I'm just doing this whole thing with the International Guitar Month. Every day there's going to be just random topics. Basically it starts out with something that I had in mind, and then we get into talking, and then 2 hours later it's a whole different subject. But it's good, it's good because you guys and gals have some great questions, so it's cool, and yeah, it's fun. Let's see, where are we? Metalhead Hippie had another question that went by. Where did it go? Is that guitar on the wall Steve Vai's actual guitar from the Ultrazone or a replica? Well, it is a replica. There it is. Look at that. Thing's pretty off. Over there. Nope. Let's try again. There it is. Yeah, it's a replica. So Alistair Hay was the original designer of that guitar, and you could see above the guitar there's the album cover. And Alistair went to a concert in Dublin, Ireland, on the tour, which was in 1999, I believe. And he saw the backdrop and that space age guitar, and he went home that night and started sketching out and building the Ultrazone guitar. And he built the guitar and brought it to Steve in California when it was finished. And Steve freaked out, and of course the tour was done, so he couldn't use it. But what he did was, in 2012, he did a anniversary tour of that album and used that guitar. And Steve actually played my guitar for the entire meet and greet because he thought my guitar was his guitar. It's a hilarious story, which I'm not going to get into now because I'm going to save that guitar for one of the episodes, and I'm going to try and see if I can get Alistair to join me and talk about his inspiration, the build, our trip, which was incredible, thanks to Wendy. Wendy is just awesome. She saw that he was doing this and contacted him and got on the list to buy one when they were finished. I think he did 100 of them. I'm not sure if he ever finished all 100, but I have number 3. But number 3 numbered number 7 because I wanted number 7 because it was Steve Vai's favorite number. And he didn't want to wait because he had already built the first 5, I guess, for that week. And then we were seeing the show and it wasn't done. So he wasn't able to get me number 7. So he said, I'll just number yours 7 and you have number 3. But whoever gets number 7 will actually have, a different number. And I was like, oh, okay. So, little fun fact there. So Alistair wouldn't sign the back. So Vai signed the back, and Alistair signed the inside, the pickup, the battery cavity compartment, which I really wish he signed the outside because I think he deserves to be on the outside since that is the sickest creation ever. That's just my opinion. And it plays amazing, and it sounds really good. Let's see. Whoops. Yep, you're finally on when I'm off. Yeah, I'm going to be on a bunch of times this month, and maybe you'll be off more often. Or maybe you'll be on more often. Bump. So let's see. Who else? I see some other people jumping on here. Great story. Thank you, Ed. Oh man, definitely fortunate, that Wendy is as amazing as she is, number one, and found the whole thing. And yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. Let's see, who do we have here? Andrew JB, what's up, man? I'm actually wearing my shirt with that on it. Check it out. Got the metal horns. Yeah. Actually, it's a really cool shirt. It's metal horns with the guitar on it. It's a guitar headstock. I think this one is another one that my friend Anthony got me. It's pretty cool. So, I'm all tangled up here. Get this back on. Let's see. Going to NAMM by any chance? I just saw that come up. Where did it go? There we go. No, I'm not, Andrew. I'm not. Not this year. Too much going on, and I'm really not up for traveling right now. Yeah, so I'm gonna hang, and hopefully go next year. That's the goal. We'll see. That would be cool. I haven't seen my NAMM buds since 2019. It's been a while, and I'd love to play with Larry again on his awesome NAMM Jam night. He's now officially secured the 2-hour time slot. They always gave him 40 minutes, and it was like impossible because so many people would show up and they'd jam, and now finally NAMM has agreed to give him like an actual legit long spot, which is cool. He deserves it. There's so many people that go see him and come up and play, and it's really a really great time. So if anybody's out at NAMM and you don't know what I'm talking about, go to LarryMitchell.com, and it's in the foyer of the Marriott Hotel, I believe. Yeah, they set up the stage. It's really an awesome event. Yeah, a lot of people are skipping NAMM for a lot of reasons. It's I don't want to say it's dying out, but what wound up happening is, of course, after the pandemic, number one, first and foremost, everything is so expensive. I don't know if anybody follows any musicians in particular, but there's been a lot of people just saying how expensive touring has become, and it's virtually almost impossible to just about break even on most tours because of the logistics and the just all kinds of stuff. Everything's just like doubled or tripled. There's not a lot of drivers anymore. All the drivers found new jobs, so these tour bus companies don't have drivers, and then also, who wants to have an inexperienced driver driving around your band at like 4 a.m? I mean, that's a liability. You got to really be good at that job, I wouldn't trust, I want a guy who's been driving, not just someone who just started driving. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, a lot of factors, and a lot of people aren't going to NAMM because it hasn't picked up the momentum yet, and they moved it to April, which I think it should be in April. April's Guitar Month. Why not? I know NAMM is not just about guitar, but for me it is. So it should be Guitar Month. And you know what else is cool about Guitar Month? It's my birthday month. So that's even cooler. Jeff Kiesel said they won't be there because it would cost him $100,000. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. And he's not going to get the return on that. And I'm sure, see, this is what happened. Everything was headed in this direction anyway. I did retail for many years, and all the retailers that I would talk to that were smart went online. So, perfect example, back in the day in Jersey, one of the biggest stores was Victor's House of Music. Before Guitar Center came in, Victor's House of Music. The store I worked and managed, Bach to Rock Music, Sam Ash. Those were the 3 stores that you could buy from in New Jersey. They had a few stores scattered throughout New Jersey that you can go to so you wouldn't have to drive all over the place, but nobody was doing online stuff. Well, Jim, the owner of Victor's House of Music, saw the future and he started American Music Supply. And from there, I believe he bought ZZ Zounds. He bought that. He bought another one. I can't remember it. But anyway, you can get everything online. You know, so what's the point of going out to California? You have to build a booth. That costs money. The displays, all the employees that you have to get out there to help you. And then it's basically a free event. But at the end of the day on Sunday, there's some laws, so they can't really sell to the public because that's not legal. So what they wind up doing is, I believe there's some kind of thing where they allow them to sell on Monday morning, I think it is. And they try and sell as much stuff so they don't have to carry it back. Because if you're not based out of California, you're traveling with tons of equipment, like weight-wise, tons. Like, you know, it could be a good, I don't even know what. Some of these guys bring in these fancy, elaborate, like unbelievable displays. Stuff costs a ton of money, literally. So they can't afford it. It's ridiculous. Or what they wind up doing is they bring it out, they build it, and then they scrap it. And they just throw it out because it's too expensive to bring back. It's pointless. So it's not very, very lucrative anymore, because you can just go online on Sweetwater and Sam Ash and the ones I just mentioned, you know, Zounds, American Music Supply. Have it delivered to your house in a day if you want to pay for the extra shipping. And then you can try it for 45 days. And if you don't like it, you can send it back. You know? Yeah, man, Surfer Boy, I have a good friend who works over at Sweetwater. And I worked out a deal with, you know, him to take care of my students. And also one of my former students, he works over at Sam Ash. And he's samash.com. So he hooks up my students as well. So yeah, I mean, Sweetwater is like the place now, you know. Yeah. Oh, hey, Bob. Bob, what a nice surprise seeing you pop up on my YouTube feed this Sunday afternoon. That blue Parker is dope. My next guitar is a Gem or Strandberg. What do you dig about the Parker? Weight, tone, etc. Oh, man. Well, I did talk about that like an hour ago because it was the topic for the day is the Parker Fly. But, man, nothing, I can assure you, nothing, zero, plays like a Parker. Like, it is in its own class. It is super lightweight. It is super ergonomic. Zero blockade to play high up. There is no wood in the area of the heel where the bolt-on would be. It is the first guitar to have a piezo. You know, so you have the double duty guitar here. You've got your electric and your acoustic all in one, which is right here. Here's the electric guy. And then the acoustic. So, and the way I'm doing that is not by modeling. That is actually the piezo pickup. So to prove it to you, I'll tap on one. And now I'll shut that off. Okay. That you're hearing from here. All right, so that's the really cool thing about these guitars. Plus, they are just really unique. That was one of the main things that also attracted it to me. Me to it, because I love the Gem. The Gem is great, but if I played that out, which I never did, but I had friends that had Gems, and every time they played out, people were like, dude, you think you're Steve Vai, you know, and it's like, no, I just like the guitar. So I never played out with the Gem. In fact, I never got a Gem until that guitar in 2004. I actually found that by complete chance in Sweden. It's number 735. Thing is amazing, but I'll never play a gig with it because, you know, they're very sought after now. But I do have and will play and have played a gig with the Pia, because this to me is just like a souped up Les Paul. This thing is so slick. It looks like a black custom Les Paul to me with the gold hardware, and it's just the Maserati of Les Paul. You know, it's just really cool. So I love that guitar, but it weighs a ton. And well, it doesn't weigh a ton. It's just not a Parker Fly. But yeah, you know, I really dig the feel of the Parker. Again, nothing plays like a Parker. They did a lot of unique things that everybody is copying now, like using carbon fiber for reinforcement, which the Pia uses on the neck. It's a 5-piece neck with 2 pieces of carbon fiber going through the back. And they were also the first ones to use stainless steel frets, which they also put on the Pia. However, I do love Strandbergs, and Strandberg is doing the same thing, except they are super ergonomic and lightweight as well. And they do stainless steel frets. They do fan frets for even more of an ergonomic positioning of your hand when you're playing chords higher up. And they have the stainless steel frets and the carbon fiber reinforcement going through the neck. So what does the Fly weigh? Let's see here. The Fly weighs about 5 pounds. Yep, it's about 5 pounds. Let's see. I think I missed the... Oh, yeah, look at this. Doug DeJong is in the house. What's up, man? You just had a birthday. Happy birthday. My birthday's Tuesday. Your birthday was last week. Ah, yes. Before Guitar Center in Southern California, it was Hanich and Exclusive Music. And, of course, Charvel. Yeah, Charvel was great. Great guitars. Just saw the video. No apologies. I love talking about this stuff. People are bored. I'm sorry. Of course they're not bored. They're all still here, so it's cool. More people disappear in Alaska than any place. Oh my God, that's terrible. Vi guitar looks awesome on the wall. Thank you. Yes, the Ultra Zone guitar. We just talked about that there, Doug. I'm going to do a whole show on that guitar and hopefully get Alistair on the show to talk about his inspiration and the whole bit. Yeah. Wow, very nice. That sounds awesome. I see the Allure. Yeah. You know, I played a little earlier with, you know, I did a whole song. So it's got a great tonality and a great vibe to it. I love this guitar. I was endorsed by them for many years up until they went out of business in 2016. I was in their catalog. I did clinics for them at all the .com places, Sweetwater, music123.com, Zounds. I did the Sam Ash in Clearwater, Florida, another one in another area of Florida. There were like 4. We went on a small clinic tour. It was really cool. And then I did a whole bunch of clinics with Stu Ham because his bass company was Washburn and my guitar company, of course, was Parker, and they were both owned and distributed by US Music. So the two of us went on the road and talked about our instruments, and then we played together at the end of the clinic every night, and it was pretty awesome. So, yeah, gotta love it. What type of tuning system? Do the strings stay in tune using vibrato? Yes, I talked about that before. So this is really cool. Let's get out of here and get to a cleaner. So I'll have you know that these strings are DR 8s, which is insane to have 8s on a Parker. And they are 2 years old. So I just played a tune, pulled the bar like a maniac, and that was earlier, and it's still in tune. So it's totally stable. The whole design of the tremolo bar is each string is in a perfect straight line to the machine head and the nut. So there is no grab or pull in any direction other than a straight line. So that's part of the other features that keep this thing in tune so well. And it has the Shaler locking system, which I believe back in the day, this was the first guitar to have those tuners, a piezo pickup, stainless steel frets, and carbon fiber reinforcement. Ken Parker was a luthier, still is, he's still building guitars, in New York City on 48th Street, and he had a diary of complaints. And basically he wanted to eliminate every complaint that someone had about the guitar. Tuning wise, the famous joke with the G string is always out of tune. Not with this. The G string is always in tune. You know, let's go, let's just beat it up a little bit. It's in tune. Now, for a guitar without a locking system like a Floyd Rose or an Ibanez, and to stay in tune, you're not going to find one like that. I'm sorry. I mean, it stays in tune. Yeah, man, you're welcome. You are welcome. Unfortunately now, because, again, they're out of business, if you find one of these online, they're $3,000 and up now. If you could find one for any less than $3,000, you should jump on it because they're hard to find. And it's a shame because these guitars are super incredible guitars. Yeah. But anything good is about that price anyway. You know, if you're looking at Ibanez or Strambergs, I mean, they have other, you know, better priced guitars, of course. But when you start getting into the $3,000 range or the $2,500 or $2,200 range of a guitar, you'll notice the quality. Paul Reed Smith, I mean, God, you can't touch some of those unless you get the SEs, but those aren't the same. They're not. Sorry. You get a custom 24, you're looking at probably $5,000. You know, they're built like a $5,000 guitar, so you can definitely tell the difference. That was what really put Ken and U.S. Music out of business with the Parker Fly, was they were building a quality $10,000 guitar and selling them for $1,600. You know, the time, the materials, yeah. So, unfortunately, that's it. I can't even imagine if they were still in business with all the supply chain problems, how they would even be able to build this guitar right now at this point. Yeah, so, oh my God, 2 hours and 16 minutes. We got a new record here. Well, I'm glad everybody's enjoying it and you're not bored with me. That's cool. Thanks, Wendy. I'm thinking the same. Plus, I'm old. Lightweight axe. That's great. Um, did not realize they're locking tuners. Yeah, no problem. I think I put that up already, though. Yeah, so again, if you could find one for less money, grab them. Back in the day, which wasn't too long ago, I'd say probably about 4 or 5 years ago, before the pandemic and things started getting crazy as far as pricing and knowledge, I found some really crazy deals on Guitar Center used, and they didn't know what they had. They were calling them the wrong models. So anytime I saw, I would just grab it, and so I have a good amount of Parker Fly guitars because I just love them to death. They're awesome. So let's see. We're getting late here. I'm getting really hungry. So I'm gonna double check the tuning real quick and do one more tune. Good there. We're good there. All right. The G's a little out. So let's see. Yep. Sometimes it just takes a little bending. We're good. Good. Look at that. The G string did go out of tune. Made me a liar. Unbelievable. But these strings are 2 years old. And I'm not even kidding about that. I keep a little diary on my phone of when I change the strings, so I know. At Vince Janela, is there any Parkers I should stay away from? Yes, anything that's model with a P in front of it, like a P38, anything that says P, do not get. Okay, you don't want a P, anything. P34, I can't remember the numbers, but they're not good. They are not what this is, okay? The other things you don't want are anything DF with a number after it in low numbers, like 524. The only DF models you should look at are anything in the 8 range, okay? Those are hard to find. But what you want, if you're looking at a Parker Fly, is they have them, if people know what they're selling, it's called pre-refined. Okay, that's this guitar, pre-refined. The dead giveaway is this wheel. Okay, this wheel sets up the tension and the balance of the tremolo bar. Again, Ken didn't want any tools needed to set this thing up. That was another problem people had. They'd go to the gig, the guitar neck would move or the tremolo bar would move, and they'd need a screwdriver, and they'd need to take the back plate off, and they'd need light to see all. He wanted to do away with that. So he put this in, and zip, 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 you could fine-tune the bar. So there's a lot of stuff with this guitar, which I'll probably do like a real in-depth video on that and all the stuff. The price tag, yeah, on these are expensive. Surfer by pizza for me tonight. Yeah, pizza's cool. I would love to actually have some pizza. That wouldn't be a bad thing. All right, so let's see. What am I gonna play tonight on the way out? And we'll use the piezo. You know what? Let's attempt. Where is it? One of Wendy's favorites. Are you here? Are you here? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And I hope I remember it because I have not played this. Okay. Let's see. All right, we're going to go for it. This tune is an original. It's called Take You There. And, oh, actually, no, that's not what I want to do because that doesn't have the acoustic in it. Where is it? Jeez. I don't even know my own songs anymore. Where are you? Where are you? Autumn Drive. That's what we want. All right, we're doing Autumn Drive. This is actually one of Wendy's favorites too, so. All right, here we go. This has the acoustic in it, so we'll use that. And let me get to the right preset. All right, so I'll play you all out with this one. And here we go. Let me shut the mic off so you get the good sound. All right, everybody, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow for some more guitar madness. I don't know what time. It'll just be random. So, have an awesome night. I'll see you all tomorrow.